Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. Are you still humming, man?
Hmm?
You started humming before the intro started. You're still humming. What's wrong with you? Anyway, hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet.
Yeah.
How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a fantastic little day, or big day, or small day, or whatever size day you like. David, what's up, man? How you doing?
Joe Kent.
Yes, but how are you doing?
You know, I didn't notice until I just shared it. I just shared it on X, but I just realized if your name is Joe and your second name starts with a K, it's like joke is built into your name.
Yeah,
Joke Ent.
Joke Ent.
Mike, at this point, Mike Winger would be like,
"Oh, the Ents were the tree people in Lord of the Rings, and so if one of them told a joke, it would be a joke Ent. If he was a funny guy, their comedians are called joke Ents."
and he would
Imagine
that would be a big hit.
Imagine if your first name was Joe and your last name was Kerman. It'd be like Joe Kerman. Joe Kerman. That'd be very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, with such wonderful insights, let's start the video. So, or the live stream. First, I want to welcome everybody to the most watched show on the planet among all the shows that are broadcast from this channel. So,
Couple people posted Joe King, man. Joe King. That's funny.
Joe King. How did you not think about that? What's wrong with you?
Nice.
How did you not? Terrible. So a lot of bad stuff is going on today, man. It's just everything is always bad. Lots of bad stuff.
You said bad stuff today?
Bad stuff is going on.
I've seen zero bad things today, man. Zero.
No, well, today the day started with something very, very disgusting, which was a report came out, a news report came out, which I first saw Laura Loomer share. Then I had to verify it.
Why is AP worshiping Laura Loomer? Mm.
Then I went to other sources and found other people share the very same thing. Then I saw the Charlie Kirk show, Andrew Colvett and his co-host Blake make talk about it directly because it came out right before the Charlie Kirk show went live, and they just got the news as well. And the news is basically that this Joe Kent dork that we just talked about, the former director of the United States National Counterterrorism Center, who just resigned from his position, saying this Iran war is bad and we're fighting Israel's war.
Oh, wait, that's the same dude? Is that the same dude?
Yeah, very same dude.
I
The
forget
very
things.
same
I
dude.
forget things quickly, and so that was a dude who was like, "Oh, because," and then you showed stuff from like a couple of years ago. He's like, "We must destroy Iran. We have to crush Iran.
Not even
Iran."
from a couple I mean, from a couple of years ago, but also just like months before before the war, he was actually going on shows and talking about how Iran is an existential threat, a threat to the United States, a threat to Israel, a threat to multiple countries in the region. They have directly threatened us, and that we have to be rough and go through and destroy the Islamic regime and all that. That's what he was basically saying. And then something happened over the last months during his while he was doing his job, and he suddenly acts like he never said those things. And Trump just started going into the whole war with Iran upon orders of Israel or something like that. And everybody's just pointing out, wait a minute, you are the guy who was literally begging Trump to start the war and to go after the Islamic regime in Iran. What happened? And he doesn't respond. It seems
I never thought he was going to listen to me, man.
It seems that somebody offered him some benefits or something like that. I don't know what exactly happened, but things are bad, man. Flip-flop, man.
I would bet Candace and Tucker. Candace
Tucker. I bet he was paid by Tucker and Candace to do this.
Has he responded to these allegations we just brought up?
Nope.
Coincidence?
Therefore, it was probably them. And notice how crazy it is, man. Notice how crazy it is, everybody. As soon as we talk about Candace, we have to say, I'm not suicidal. I don't want to be killed. My life is in danger. See, it's so crazy, right? Only with Candace is there such a case. As soon as we talk about Candace Owens, as soon as we criticize Candace Owens, we have to point out that we are in danger,
guys.
Suicidal, that anything could happen to us at any moment. Only with Candace, because when you talk about Candace, you're immediately threatened.
I want to say it now. I want to say it now. Guys, if I ever die, ever, 100%, it is Candace Owens' fault.
Most definitely.
She's behind it.
If something ever happens to either of us, if we ever die, it was because of Candace Owens. If I'm
100%,
90 years
1,000%, 1,000% Candace Owens.
If I'm 90 years old and I die, that means it was Candace Owens' fault.
Mm-hmm. You ever wonder why we can criticize anyone on the planet except Candace Owens?
Because there's always a danger. It's messed up. So, I was looking at what Charlie's closest friends and colleagues were saying about this, and they're just so Turning Point USA and the Charlie Kirk Show, Andrew Colvett and all the others, they don't want to talk very much about all the conspiracies, and they don't specifically want to talk about individuals like Candace Owens, and I'm sure they have their very, very, very good reasons.
Hold up. I thought I didn't pay attention to anything today, but I do recall I did pay. I mean, apart from Jai's meme. Oh man, Jai's meme got over 1 million views already. Awesome stuff. Awesome.
It's blown up.
Awesome stuff. But I did see something else. I saw Megyn Kelly interviewing that Kash Patel dude. I saw a clip of it. I saw a clip where she was asking him questions like if he thinks, if he thinks other people were involved or foreign nations were involved in the killing of Charlie Kirk and stuff like that. And anyway, sometimes he would answer, and other times he would say, we don't want to interfere in the case at all. We don't want to say anything or do anything that could be used in the case. So anyway, when you're talking about Turning Point, I'm just wondering, do they have that concern? Like, we don't want to be talking about things during.
So I can't be very confident or very clear about their reasons why they don't want to talk about specific things. But I think they have made it quite clear that they do not want to in any way engage with any of the conspiracy theories or anything like that, unless. I mean, in this case, they started talking about it because in this case, with this guy Joe Kent, he started directly. He was part of the.
People are saying Kent Patel. That's funny.
He was part of the government, and he was entrusted with knowledge and with leads and with messages and all that, and he started leaking them to other people while he's in a position of government, doing his job, and things were entrusted to him because he is part of the of national security. Because he has basically betrayed them, and now he has even announced and even confirmed that he may be called and testify and speak on behalf of the murderer's defense, of Tyler Robinson's defense. Tyler Robinson, the guy who murdered Charlie Kirk, who killed Charlie Kirk in Utah at Utah Valley University.
Are you saying Utah?
Utah.
You got to emphasize the ah more.
Utah.
Utah.
So the guy went and killed Charlie Kirk on campus. His firearm is found. He confessed to his parents, to his family friend sheriff, and to his friends that he is closest to. He confessed to all of them that he was the one who actually did murder Charlie Kirk. He said that Charlie deserved it because Charlie is a fascist. He confessed to it all. His parents turned him in together with the sheriff friend. We have him on camera. We have the weapon, which is his family rifle. We have his fingerprint on the casings, on everything. Everything is very clear. It was him, the guy who, because he's an absolutely sick lunatic, murdered Charlie Kirk. And now this guy, Joe Kent, wants to go and actually testify that some foreign governments may have been involved, and not this guy. In
wait. You know what he's gonna? So you're saying he wants to testify? You're saying he wants to testify that it was foreign government specifically? He said that?
Yeah.
Or he just said he wants to testify?
He wants to testify about foreign governments. Foreign governments. Hang on.
Man, people still talking about that Kash Patel. You know, it's kind of confusing. You pick someone to what's he run? The FBI or something? The CIA? What's he run?
Kash Patel.
Yeah, what's he run? FBI? CIA? What?
It's a good
run
question.
Something. What's he run, guys?
He runs the FBI.
Oh. Isn't that weird though?
Yeah.
Like you got a guy with like resting crazy face. Like he just like you got one eye that's looking right at you, but his other eye's like looking off at something else, and it's like why would you get someone? And I was thinking, like, why would you get someone with resting crazy face to run your organization? Then I was thinking, maybe you want someone with resting crazy face. Like you don't know what this dude's gonna do, man.
David doesn't even know who what Kash Patel is in charge of.
I'm just saying, I know he runs something, but
yeah.
a dude with resting crazy face, that's pretty intimidating, man. You don't know what that dude will do.
So, and by the way, since we brought it up earlier, this is the same guy that we're talking
Since
about.
the Iranian
Whereas this dude
Revolution
just
in
looks like a
1979,
freaking dork. Like, how is he in charge of anything?
Radical jihadis essentially took over the
Like-
government of Iran
like
and
Nick
declared
Fuentes.
war basically on the West, but they also declared war on the vast majority of the Sunni Gulf states. And so what Kushner and what the Trump administration did was they came in and they said, look, you guys actually have a common enemy. Iran is an existential threat to both Israel. It's an existential threat to the oil producing Arab Gulf countries. And so that was the genesis of the Abraham Accords. So what they did was they basically said the obvious: no one's going to solve this. At least an outsider, a Westerner, is not going to be able to come in here and say, hey, here's the grandiose solution between the Arabs and between the Palestinians and between the Israelis. Let's isolate that as much as we possibly can, and let's create a pragmatic alliance. And that's what led to a lot of the peace and prosperity that we had in the Middle East. Now, again, here comes Joe Biden. Biden comes into office, and he does, I think, two things. He brings back in a lot of folks from the Obama administration who had bet their careers in foreign policy on reaching out to Iran. That was Obama's famous thing. If you extend your hand, if you unclench your fist, we'll extend our hand. And we did that. We entered the Iran deal. We gave the Iran access to billions and billions of dollars. And what did Iran do? They funded their proxies throughout the entire Middle East. We had already seen this movie before. Biden comes in and does the exact same thing. He brings back Blinken and Sullivan and the rest of the Iran deal guys. And he says, we're going to reach back out. Trump got Iran all wrong. Iran had been pretty quiet for quite a while under President Trump. But then Biden comes in, they unfreeze a ton of money, billions of dollars going to Iran immediately. Iran does what Iran does. They immediately start funding all of their proxies throughout the entire Middle East, many of whom that we're paying for as well, through the government of Iraq, through the governments of Qatar, those types of things. But the Iranians are very smart. And they said, hey, how can we upend the Abraham Accords? Because the Abraham Accords was an existential threat to Iran. It was an alliance that was created that really checked Iran. So they knew they needed to light the Israel-Palestine issue back on fire. And so they gave Hamas a bunch of aid, and then they had Hamas conduct a very brutal and very public attack. The way that Hamas immediately put that brutal attack of October 7th all over the internet as brutally as possible, I think they had a lot of professional advice from the Iranian Revolutionary Guards Corps, their special operations guys, in order to get a response from Israel. And then Israel did what they had to do. They had to go in and defend themselves. And now they're going scorched earth on Gaza. And quite frankly, a lot of people in America are not comfortable with that. A lot of Democrats aren't comfortable with that. And we can critique them here from America, where for now it's nice and safe. But they're doing what I think any rational actor would do that's faced with a threat like that. But at the same time, they are playing right into Iran's hands by putting this issue back front and center. And so now all the Gulf states, all the former allies of Israel that we had just created, now they're in a position where they worry that they're going to get Arab Spring if they don't back the Palestinians. However, at the same time, none of them want the Palestinians to come into their country. That's why Egypt actually has a wall. We can't have a wall, but Egypt gets to have a wall that we fund to keep the Palestinians out.
This is the same guy who nowadays suddenly made a complete U-turn on everything.
Yeah,
and acts like he never said any of this before. It's kind of fun.
I think you mean did a Utah.
Yeah.
So this is less than a year ago, which would mean that he either didn't believe what he was saying right then. He understood he has to say this for some reason, or he was being paid to say this at this point. And now he's telling the truth about what he believes, or he did a complete 180 recently, in which case you'd have to say what caused the 180.
Nowadays, he says stuff like this after something happened to him. He fell on his head. I don't know. Pattern recognition.
Or 7,000 shekels from Tucker Carlson.
POTUS broaches on de-escalation and negotiations. Israel takes action that escalates to war. Restraining Israel is the only way to stop this war from spiraling further out of control. President Trump can fix this, but he must act now. He's basically telling Israel not to do anything, telling Trump that he should stop the war, is completely suddenly totally anti-war. When prior to this, he was just he was explaining why we have to fight, why we have to do the job, while Israel has to fight Iran, and all that. It's just this guy went absolutely insane. And then today this happened. So Laura Loomer says it is being reported by Schellenberger, which we will check out in a second, by Michael Schellenberger, that Joe Kent agreed to contact Tyler Robinson's legal defense team, Charlie Kirk's murderers' legal defense team, and said he would testify in support of Robinson, the man who assassinated Charlie Kirk. I called it absolutely diabolical. I said Kent was aiding Tyler Robinson's defense and jeopardizing the trial. Joe Kent is so obsessed with blaming Israel that he's now aiding Charlie's assassin because he wants to push the lie that Israel killed Charlie Kirk. You can also actually directly listen to what he said, which I should have here somewhere.
Hey, that would be interesting at trial. So this guy'd be up there like,
hey, actually, it wasn't that guy.
Well, so why is he still saying he did it?
Well, you know, he must be someone must be putting pressure on him to make him say this.
But I mean, he confessed, and you know, he had the gun. Like, why would he do that?
Well, because the Israeli lobby made him want to take the fall for it.
It's insane, man. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So
people have been saying it's because his second wife, man.
You know, do you think that
he now has a second wife that is like
married her in 2023?
What is with his wife? Let me see.
American politician, former United States Army warrant officer, former Central Intelligence Agency paramilitary officer. Sounds like a bad dude. Who served as the director of the National Counterterrorism Center from 2025 to 2026. Not a long time. member of the Republican Party. Kent was its nominee in the United States House of Representatives election for Washington's 3rd Congressional District.
So here's the report by Michael Schellenberger. It says, Joe Kent says he would testify in trial of Charlie Kirk's alleged assassination. Schellenberger is the guy who actually interviewed Joe Kent, so he's the first-hand source here. The former director of the National Counterterrorism Center, Joe Kent, says that the FBI did not properly investigate the assassination last fall of conservative leader Charlie Kirk. The FBI was pretty forceful in saying we couldn't investigate further. He told public, I saw no action being taken, says he, when he is not even in charge of the FBI. Tyler Robinson confessed to killing Kirk in a text message and a note to his trans-identified romantic partner. His defense team may now be able to use Kent's allegations that the government is suppressing evidence and did not do a proper investigation to their advantage. Kent said he knew that he might be called as a witness before he made his statements that a foreign nexus may have been involved in Kirk's assassination. I was definitely warned, quote, of that over and over again, said Kent. If I end up having to play that role, then I'll do it. It's not something I'm seeking. When pressed that his testimony could help the Robinson defense, Kent said, then honestly, so be it. If it gets us to the truth, that's obviously the risk I'm taking.
That's a Candace line, man. We got to get to the truth, and it like never gets anywhere. It just makes people not able to believe anything because they're so confused.
I actually want to listen to this. It's without pictures, just audio. But
do you think that the FBI's leak investigation into you was weaponized to silence your, what you were saying, or was it retaliation? Or was it before you wrote your note and left?
It wasn't before I wrote my note and left. Up until the time I told the vice president and the president that I was done. I had full access. I was fully the director. The procedure when you're under investigation is they at least suspend your clearance. And so
what he's leaving out here, so he's currently after investigation, and the investigation has been made public for leaking information, leaking sensitive information, classified information. The investigation has been announced, but it has only been announced after he resigned. That is correct. What he's leaving out here is that according to the FBI, he has been under investigation for months on suspicion that he leaked classified information from high levels of counterterrorism and security. So he most definitely did leak classified information, and the FBI has been investigating him for months now leading up to this. He was probably aware that it's about to go public, so he made a public publicity stunt to resign and criticize Donald Trump. That's what's happening here. The FBI doesn't just randomly, suddenly start an investigation, right? There has to be a long process of gathering information and of suspicion and all that. The suspicion of leaking classified information has been there for months leading up to this. But he's lying about he's lying by omission now.
None of that happened. No one had talked to me. So I view this as not necessarily even retaliation yet. I view it as a media counter narrative. I don't take it very credible. Because if the FBI was really going to come after me, they wouldn't leak it to a bunch of media outlets. But they leaked it at a time. I don't even think the FBI leaked it. I think like the White House comm shop leaked it to come out at the same time my Tucker interview was coming out. It just seems to me like more of a media counter narrative than anything else.
Yeah, makes sense. And are you asking for? Do you want a Office of Inspector General investigation or a congressional investigation? What are your asks?
I don't know if I really have any specific asks.
Let me get to the thing.
So, I mean, do you feel like can you just say, was it just sort of a kind of pattern analysis and speculation, or were you actually seeing like signals intelligence, financial records, travel data, intercepts, something that was more concrete that when you refer to those leads, I think you said the decent amount of leads that came up?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say almost all of the above, because I don't think we really even got very far. And so I can't say that, like, hey, there's this one thing that I think is hotter of a lead than another lead. We had a decent amount of leads because there was a big crowd there that day. Charlie had an international following, right? So we were just at the very beginning of doing basic investigatory work on foreign leads. So I honestly, I can't even tell you on or off the record, like, hey, this one thing. There's a couple specific things that I would, if I were put back on the case, I would start looking at immediately because I think they require attention that I can't get into. But just do.
Let me just translate what he's saying here. He thinks that there may have been foreign government involvement in the killing of Charlie Kirk, that some foreign government may have killed Charlie Kirk, but he can't actually give any credible evidence, or doesn't actually have any proper evidence for it. All he says is that we didn't pursue enough leads for that. Well, I mean, as a non-FBI guy, I can say that there may be good reasons for that, such as that the evidence is overwhelming that it was done by this guy for specific reasons, and there is therefore no further need to investigate anything else, and there is no proper credible evidence that there is a foreign government involved. So the evidence for this guy Tyler Robinson doing it by himself is quite overwhelming. That's it. This guy doesn't actually have any knowledge. He doesn't actually have any knowledge at all. But he wants to suspect now that a foreign government may have killed Charlie Kirk. And just because of these suspicions that he has, which he now shares with people like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, he even is ready to corrupt the entire court process.
Doing the basic, I would say, curious investigator work 101. We didn't get started on that, or we had just got started and we kind of got waved off.
Okay, and
so he doesn't actually know anything. That's what he's saying.
And had you seen anything on any specific foreign country?
Not foreign country specifically. Our goal was, our purview was foreign, period. So that could be foreign countries, foreign businesses, that could be foreign individuals. I didn't have any, like, this one country was heavily implicated, etc. There's some that have already been in the news that I don't want to point to give them more or less credibility. So yeah, I mean, yeah, there were still more foreign links, I think is the best way to put it.
And then, so nothing, just to address the speculation, nothing specifically on Israel.
No, nothing specific on, like, the state of Israel. No.
And nothing specific on, like, Israel cutouts or.
It'd be speculating for me to say yes. So no, nothing specific on that. Again, like, there was foreign leads that we needed to run down still that has to be looked into.
Okay. I mean, I was just trying to figure out if it was just, like, in other words, it sounded like from the interview that it was just kind of like, Charlie had warned against the war. He had.
This is very funny. He's not even pointing at a specific country. He's not even pointing at what kind of foreign power on behalf of which country did something. He's just speculating that foreign forces may have been involved, and he's making a big deal out of that.
Now imagine being willing to testify and having no clue about anything. Like how would speculation be relevant to a trial, right? Like, they're like, okay, is this the weapon? Does it match the bullet? What's the evidence here? And he's like, well, I've got, I think aliens may have been involved. Okay, well, it's possible, but, like, what evidence do you have that that's the case?
Well, we haven't pursued the leads that that point at aliens possibly doing that. Extraterrestrials has been mentioned, and the FBI said we will not investigate it any further. We shall not put any efforts or resources into that, and that just makes me feel very suspicious. So I want to bring that to the table and explore the possibility that extraterrestrials may have killed Charlie Kirk.
That's what I'm saying. You could take any, like, murder, right? You take this guy murdered this woman here and then confessed to it. And you could have all that. And then someone, well, what if a bunch of foreign actors were involved? Well, yeah, maybe. What evidence do you have that that is actually the case here? Well, I don't really know anything, but, you know, I'm willing to testify to that effect, that that is a possibility. Yeah, I mean, that's weird.
Well,
Hey, you know, it's weird. This dude's kind of a weird, like, flip-flopper. So he supported George W. Bush. Then from 2012 to 2019, he was libertarian. He's libertarian, supported them, then became a Democrat from 2019 to 2021, voted for Bernie Sanders, then switched to supporting Donald Trump. And Trump has this issue that I think is going to may blow up more down the road, but he picks people like based on like who had his back in some way at some point, and he picks people like based on loyalty and not realizing. So I mean, someone might be totally loyal to you and have some issues. Might have some issues that emerge later on. But anyway, so it was Trump who made this guy just last year. Gave him his important position in counterterrorism, and then now this dude has flipped again.
Complained, certainly, it looks like in those messages that Candace Owens produced, complained of his Jewish donors, but like nothing beyond that, suggesting like nobody.
Since
like,
the Iranian Revolution in
I guess the question
1979,
is, like,
when
really, is there-
radical jihadis essentially took over.
What in the heck is happening?
What? Why are you playing multiple videos at the same time?
It just randomly started
I mean,
playing.
Tyler
Yeah, it sounded like
Roberts
someone was interrupting him.
having relationships outside of himself, because I think the whole idea appears to be, or he's being prosecuted as just a lone shooter.
I personally have always found the lone shooter narrative to be challenging, but that's just my opinion. Again, my focus wasn't because Tyler Robinson is an American. Tyler was never exactly where we were looking. We were looking for links. And again, I fully investigating him for foreign links. I don't think that due diligence was done. Him and his associates is what I would say. I don't think that due diligence was done.
Okay. Because, I mean, do you think that, because obviously, like, we've seen a lot of people, I've seen a lot of, some trans-identified people engaged in shootings, and it appears.
So this is only part of the episode. The full thing is
That was
description.
weird.
But so yeah, Schellenberger asks him what if his testimony, if he's called to court, if his testimony of foreign leads and all that could help the could help the Tyler Robinson defense. And Ken says, well, then honestly, so be it. If it gets us to the truth, that's obviously the risk I'm taking. So what this translates to, let me just be very blunt here. What this translates to is this guy thinks that there may have been foreign government or foreign forces involvement, right? Because of that, he is ready to compromise the entire investigation and the entire court process. So it is quite clear to him that Tyler Robinson is actually the guy who killed Charlie Kirk. And right now, as it stands, all the evidence shows that he himself, for his own sick motives, killed Charlie Kirk. But this guy, just to make the point, well, there may have been foreign involvement, would risk helping the murderer of Charlie Kirk get away. He would risk helping him get away. He would risk helping him evade justice just to supposedly get to the truth. He's ready to testify on behalf of the defense of the murderer of Charlie Kirk.
Yo, isn't that flip-flopping like weird, like that level of flip-flopping? Because we're talking about like Republican and Libertarian, then Democrat, then like MAGA. And then, but just last year, yeah, I've got to deal with Iran, Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. And then today, I can't believe we're fighting in Iran. What's going on? I don't know. I wouldn't people can change views. Trust me, I know from experience. People can change their views significantly, but to flip-flop that extremely in that short amount of time, and then to keep doing it, flip-flopping from one thing to another, and then all of a sudden, hey, I don't mind if I derail this entire trial to raise speculations about foreign involvement. It's like, let me put it this way. Again, any murder that's committed, you could start asking, well, what were foreign governments involved? Were there foreign actors involved, and so on? If you've got this guy murders this person and confesses and says why, and like what, how much investigation do you do if nothing actually turns up except a bunch of episodes of Candace Owens shows?
Crazy.
This video footage shows a 17th century church, part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Western Ukraine, coming under attack during the daytime raids. The site of the church is in Lviv, located just 60 kilometres from the Polish border. Witnesses describe the horror of the attack in a busy city centre.
You know what's absolutely sick, man? The number of churches, how many churches has Russia bombed in Ukraine?
And how much did the Jews pay them to bomb all these churches?
As of early 2026, reports indicate that Russian forces have destroyed, damaged, or looted over 600 to 700 religious sites in Ukraine since the full-scale invasion began in February 2022. These sites include churches, mosques, synagogues, and other educational or administrative religious buildings. The majority are Christian churches, while some mosques and synagogues have also been attacked. The highest concentration of damaged sites are in the Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, Kiev, and Kharkiv regions. With reports, around 600 possibly churches have been directly hit. According to an earlier report, at least 500 religious buildings, at least 500 churches have been directly hit by Russia. It's so wild, man. There are so many people who go crazy about different wars, go crazy about Israel and all that. And here is Russia having directly damaged and destroyed numerous churches in Ukraine, ruthlessly, brutally, killing people inside, destroying the buildings and all that. But all these people just do not care. It all reeks of a foreign agenda. That's what it reeks of. It's disgusting, man. Absolutely sickening. How many churches has Israel blown up? Look at this. I can actually tell you how many churches Israel has blown up. 2 churches have been damaged in the war, since the war started. 2 churches in Gaza have been damaged. The last one was the Catholic Church. It was hit at some point. The edge of the roof was hit by a tank projectile. And Israel said that they are investigating the case, and this was not supposed to happen. That was one instance. And part of the Orthodox Church in Gaza was damaged when a bomb landed in the compound region of it. That's it. Meanwhile, Russia has destroyed or damaged over 500 churches. But people want to focus on Israel. It all reeks of foreign agenda. That's what it is. People never want to talk about the truth, never want to talk about the facts. If you want to talk about something evil that is completely anti-Christian happening right now, talk about Russia. Talk about Russia. Nathan Livingstone says, evidence pointing to Tyler Robinson as Charlie Kirk's killer. DNA evidence. DNA recovered from multiple items tied to the crime, including trigger and components of the Mauser rifle, the towel the weapon was wrapped in, fired and unfired cartridge casings, a screwdriver left at the rooftop position. DNA evidence. Weapon and ballistic linkage. Rifle belonged to Robinson's grandfather, found discarded in a wooden area near campus. Charging documents identified as the murder weapon. Full public details on microscopic ballistic matching remain limited. Cameras captured Robinson arriving in a gray Dodge Challenger, moving through stairwells to the Lucy Center rooftop, taking a shooting position around 142 to 150 yards from the stage, fleeing across the roof and into nearby woods. Physical evidence at the rooftop, palm print and forearm imprint at roof edge, footwear impressions and impressions matching Converse sneakers. Additional forensic traces on rooftop and ground below. Digital message and written note. Pre-event handwritten note. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it. Post-event texts discussing the act and motive. Discord messages claiming responsibility and referencing surrender. Motive indicators. Online activity and ideological content. Inscribed messages on bullet casings, including anti-fascist references and memes. For example, "Hey fascist, catch." Texts expressing opposition to Kirk's views. I had enough of this hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. Context from personal relationships, including with his trans roommate, romantic partner. Evidence Joe Kent has pointed to that there was a larger conspiracy at play. A group chat screenshot of Charlie Kirk frustrated at a Jewish donor. That's basically it.
Hey, yo.
What?
I had to fact check what you said, had to fact check what you said. And so I checked how many churches have been attacked or hit by Russians since the Ukraine war started. As of late 2025, the most recent comprehensive data available, Russian forces have damaged or destroyed at least 700 to 737 religious buildings in Ukraine since the full-scale invasion began. So 700 to 737. I asked the exact same question about Israelis since October 7th. 3 churches. 3 versus at least 700.
You see, Israel is terrible. I see a report from persecution.org, International Christian Concern. According to a report published earlier this year by Mission Eurasia, a parachurch ministry dedicated to equipping churches in and around Ukraine, Russian forces have damaged or destroyed at least 737 religious buildings since the start of the full-scale war. Of the 737 buildings affected, about 450 were Baptist churches. Baptists, while the largest evangelical population in Ukraine, represent only 1 to 2% of the overall population. Wait, what? Baptist churches? Why specifically?
That sounds like you got a bunch of Russian Orthodox soldiers who don't like Baptists. When will the Russian Orthodox war on Baptist churches in Ukraine end?
Suggesting that Russian forces may be deliberately targeting Baptists in their violent campaign across Ukraine. This is interesting.
We don't hear a word about this.
I'm reading this off of here right now. Persecution.
We didn't hear a word about this.
International Christian Concern. Hundreds of churches destroyed by Russian forces in Ukraine. It says it right here. So according to a report published earlier this year, it says, so while the majority were churches, mosques, synagogues, and other religious sites were attacked as well. Of the 737 buildings affected, about 450 were
That
Baptist
is a
churches.
disproportionate number of Baptist churches. Really, really disproportionate.
This is very, very weird. Because Ukraine is majority Eastern Orthodox. It doesn't even get close here. Here, religion in Ukraine. In 2022, Eastern Orthodoxy, 72%. Catholicism, 9%.
Yeah,
Protestantism,
all Protestant, 2%, and yet over half the churches attacked were Baptist, which would be a subset of Protestant.
I really wonder if it gets into the detail of how many Baptists there possibly are. Protestants make up 2% of the population of Ukraine, with the strongest concentration in Western Ukraine. In the country, Okay. In the country, there are communities of Baptists, Pentecostals, Charismatics, Evangelicals, as well as Lutherans, Presbyterians, and others. There's also a Carpathian Reformed Church, and so on. There are several Pentecostal. As of 2016, there are 2,973 evangelical churches, 2,853 churches of the Baptists, 1,000 Seventh-day Adventist churches. I really wonder what kind of churches the other churches are now that have been destroyed. This is very, very strange, man. This is very, very strange. Very, very strange. Baptist. Killed clergy. Updated data from Mission Eurasia's Book of Remembrance of the War Clergy Project as of December 1st, 2025. Of the killed clergy, Ukrainian Orthodox Church 22, Pentecostals 14, Baptist 11. Still disproportionate. Still disproportionate. Orthodox Church of Ukraine.
Hey, should I make a video? Russia's war on Protestant churches.
Maybe.
Funny video.
I'm really curious into. I'm curious about looking further into
Putin's war on Protestants.
Anti-war religious leaders were targeted. I don't know. This is very, very strange, man. It says it right here. Baptists, while the largest evangelical population in Ukraine, represent only 1 to 2% of the overall population, suggesting that Russian forces may be deliberately targeting Baptists in their violent campaign across Ukraine. Of course, there might be other things that, in some cases, however, the destruction may be incidental. Speaking to the Baptist press, Igor Bandura of the Ukrainian Baptist Union highlighted the broad destruction created by invading Russian forces. Everything is destroyed, not in the churches. And there might be more to it, but this is really weird.
No, I mean, we always point out, you're firing rockets at people, things happen, but over half the places you hit are Baptist churches that are under 2% of the population. That seems deliberate to some extent.
I mean, it could be that they are bombing specifically certain regions where Baptists happen to be very concentrated or something like that. But still, very, very weird and suspicious. Huh. It could also be that, of course, Baptists are seen as a representation of the West, and Russia is specifically anti-West, and that's what they might be concentrating on. So they hate the West. They hate the West.
Hey, you got a super chat about someone who knows about the attitude towards Baptists over there.
If he's late, he's apostate prophet. This is true. Zofik, God Logic. Mike Winger has a great video. Everyone should subscribe to his channel. David, will you condemn this outage?
Yes, I do.
Good. Aussie Ape. Salutations from Aussie AP. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Aussie AP? Good to see you. Chat, don't come to the stream too early and comment late. Once you have commented, don't make Zut jokes. This annoys AP, but he's too shy. This is true. But
Speed 1478 is not shy.
Paul, Candace tried to get Tree of Logic and Nicole Arbor killed. Tree is an ex-cop. That's two people she tried to get assassinated. I think it's worth a check. Really? I'm really curious about that. I personally know Tree of Logic. Might text her and ask.
And don't forget, two mass shooters specifically said they were inspired by Candace Owens, which we would normally say, come on, you're a lunatic. But that's exactly the sort of thing Candace would prop up as the proof if it were, something to do with Charlie Kirk or something.
Where is that? What did she say? I might just reach out to her and ask directly, but
who?
Tree of Logic.
Yeah, I don't know about Tree of Logic. I saw them going back and forth at some point. I saw the Nicole Arbor thing.
She's funny. Fox McCloud. I am not suicidal. I am a happy person. I'm not suicidal. I'm a happy person just in case Candace Owens gets me. Smile to Jahannam. What's up, Smile to Jahannam? Very nice. Catholics for Catholics hat AP. It is crossexamined.org, which is, by the way, completely unaffiliated to this channel. It has nothing to do with the content that I'm making. I just happen to wear it because...
No, this means AP is an official spokesman for Cross-Examined, and that anything AP has ever done, is doing now, or will do in the future, can be attributed to Cross-Examined.
That's funny. I was literally just hanging out with Jorge, and he had this hat, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? That's nice." So I put it on my head, and he was like, "Hey, kid, keep it. Go have this hat on you when you go."
There's no way he said it like that. He was like, "Hey, you like that hat, man? Yeah.
That's it.
Take it, Cholo."
He's right here, right? Jorge, what's up? How you doing?
Hey, Vato, you like that hat, man?
He said, "I got this from Mexico. You want the hat?"
This
Said,
the
Yeah,
uncut.
yeah.
This the uncut hat, man. This is uncut. This is the pure stuff, man.
Jorge is our friendly Mexican friend.
Look, look. He said, "I'm not even Mexican." I know. That's what.
That's the funny
Weird
thing.
weird how sensitive these guys are.
It's the funny thing. Jorge is Colombian, but David always jokes about how he's just kidding. He's actually Costa Rican, but David always jokes about how he's Mexican. So apparently that's very funny. So apparently it's very funny to misnation somebody.
Well, it's funny. I mean, because think about it. People have been saying I'm Mexican for a while. You don't see me. Getting all bent out of shape over it. I embraced it. Rolled with it.
Based.
Rolled with a sombrero.
Unlike
Some
you guys,
maracas.
I'm a pure, proud American. Dolus Rome says, "Can you testify Mike Winger is a nerd?" I will never do that.
Total
Kit
nerd.
Kat, of course they're defending
nerd
him.
king.
Shocked. Paul, Kent wife works for Max Blumenthal. Max is son of Clinton Democrats, deep state. He pro-Russia, pro-Iran. Wife is a Muslim, ? Tucker is son of CIA agent. I mean, if she does work for Max Blumenthal, that would explain a lot. Max Blumenthal is like one of the worst people in media. Ali Al-Ramel, Candace and those of her ilk are changing their tune for money, not the truth. It is sickening. It is very sickening.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, just think about how like people like completely flip-flopped on every like major issue and stuff. And it's like all these people just flip-flopped around the same time. That seems weird.
Very weird. Much love from Florida, said Sto. From this Israeli born and raised Israeli American Jew. You see, this is the proof that this show is being paid by Jews. You're my favorite duo to watch on the internet. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, someone asked, is David Sagata a real person or a character? No, that's a real person. They just think that's me. And it's funny. So he was apparently at the same address at some point, or there's just, I mean, I don't know that that's the case. That's what they, that's how they concluded that I'm actually David Sagata. But yeah, he now lives in Wisconsin, and so they still, they thought that was me. They don't think that anymore. They figured it out. But yeah, that was their awesome reasoning. But yeah, no, the point is, there is a real David Sagata that they thought is my real name.
Joe Kent turned my district over to Dems with his election denying, primaried our Republican incumbent. In other news, Tuck cooked. Tyler said vehicle that proves it was Israel who did it. Says Candace.
That was some seriously messed up stuff, right? When she said, look, in his letter, he said vehicle, but here in this old video of him talking about an accident, he said car. You see that? And then like in that same clip, he says vehicle.
Beast.
And they left that part out and then used that as proof. And then Candace Owens says, we say car. No one says vehicle. And then Milk Bar found a bunch of clips of her saying vehicle. It's weird.
Ida Rogozin just saying, hey, what's up, Ida? Ida is beast. Ryan Gasling, Israel, the greatest state of all.
Israel is the Jewish state, the greatest state of all.
I always find it funny how his voice gets.
It is funny, man. But I know
Israel is the Jewish state, the greatest state of all.
Seriously, though, you don't see people that perpetually enraged who are like 65 years old. You just don't. They don't last. Like you gotta calm down at some point. How old is that dude? How old is that dude? Chink Uyghur. 56. Dude, come on, dude.
Cenk, you gotta calm down.
Like, guys, I'm saying it. Like seriously, you have to calm down. Your heart cannot take just complete constant rage. 56 is already really old for someone that perpetually enraged. Like, you ever see me like sweating buckets, and I'm sitting there like get an AC, but no one else in whatever room he's talking in is pouring sweat, but he is.
That reminds me that I made a meme at some point with them. With him screaming, and Alex Jones and Candace Owens, and let's see,
Alex Jones. That's another one. It's like, okay, man, they're turning the frogs gay, but you can't scream about it for years. Your heart can't take it.
La 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 la. Huh, found it.
How could you say something again? How could you say something again? Israel is the Jewish state, the greatest state of all.
I think somebody added Alex Jones to that later on, saying Jew.
See what I mean? Look at Cenk. Buckets, man, buckets.
How could you say something again? Israel is the Jewish state, the greatest state of all.
These people. Biscuit V says, Biscuit TV, Russians consider Baptists as a sect. I personally have heard blood labels on Baptists when I was a kid. Blood libels, you mean? Or when I was a kid. Really?
Did you know that Baptists are drinking the blood? They're using the blood of Orthodox Christians.
I mean, it does make sense. So the whole emphasis on baptism, Baptist, what does it mean? It's all about fluid. It's all about doing something with fluid, right? They care a lot about ritual. And
they baptize babies in Orthodox Christian blood.
On the surface, Baptists might seem like they just, baptize people and preach stuff. But what actually happens is that they kidnap kids and then, of course, kill them. And then secretly, after the whole water baptism, also use the blood for baptism. Clearly.
And I mean, think about it. Think about why these Orthodox would be so enraged at the Baptists. They know that goes back even further than the Orthodox Church or the Catholic Church. Why? It goes all the way back to John the Baptist. So we can trace that all the way back.
And what happened to John the Baptist? He was killed. Blood.
By Russians.
There you go. AP is lying. Baptists eat fried chicken. You see, I haven't seen any proof for that, so I'll dismiss it for now. Timothy Freeman, it was John the Baptist, not John the Latin or Orthobro. AP, what happened to your Spotify? David, please upload to Spotify. Sick of your YouTubes. So I was seeing these comments that said, AP, your Spotify has been removed. What happened to your Spotify? And I was like,
I saw that too. I saw people were messaging me. What happened to AP Spotify?
what's Spotify? What are people talking about? Then I was checking my email history, and it was telling me you haven't logged into your Spotify account in so many years or months, so we are deleting it now. And then it has been deleted, and then I'm like, what's Spotify? My music is all there. So, and then I realized, I think I opened at some point a Spotify podcast account, which was automatically mirroring and uploading our my videos here, my streams here, directly on Spotify. But I completely forgot about it and didn't use it for the longest time. And because I didn't log in there, Spotify, due to inactivity, deleted it, or something like that. I'm not even sure why they would do that. It's like, that sounds like a very old thing to do. So that's apparently what people mean. I'm not sure. Is that what you mean, Timothy?
What's Spotify? Is that music or podcasts?
It used to be all music only, but now it's like podcast and even audiobooks.
Is that's where Joe Rogan went for a while?
Yeah, that's where Joe Rogan is still.
Why don't we do a show on Spotify?
This boomer doesn't know what Spotify is, man.
I do. I knew it was like another platform and stuff, but like, is there a reason to be over there? Because someone's obviously saying, hey, so this person at least checks Spotify.
So
Spotify, that sounds like something like D. Al-Kalbi did to Muhammad's garments. You know what I mean? Like, he's always covered in the semen. Like, he Spotified him.
I personally never use Spotify for podcasts or books, but I know other people do that. I know of other people who do that. I know that other people who do that.
You said
I did. I personally only use it for music all the time, actually, but I've never really used it for podcasts or audiobooks, and for some reason lots of people do. So I don't know. We
should do a podcast there and see how keep up like a once a week podcast and see how it goes.
No, you could literally just put your podcasts or your episode from here just over there, and that's it. That's what people want to listen to, because it's easier to listen to.
Who's going to watch us?
It's easier to listen to because it's just a listening app, actually. Now it also has a video function, but it's primarily listening, and it's not as annoying as YouTube to keep on your phone and all that. So
it's funny. I'll get a message, and someone has asked me to do this show in Las Vegas that other people have done, apparently a big show, and he messages me and said, so anyway, I've been talking to you. Let's continue our conversation from Instagram. Like, I've never been on Instagram. And he's like, yeah, we were just talking about setting up this show with you. Like, on Instagram, you were talking to? Yeah, I was talking to you on Instagram. I've never been on Instagram, dude. Anyway, but no, lots of people tell me, David, I was talking to you on Instagram. Hey, why aren't you responding to my message on Instagram? Like, yeah, I've never been on Instagram. Apparently there's a fan page that is just like David Wood or something like that. And everyone thinks it's me.
There's also an Apostate Prophet profile on Instagram. I think it sounds very official in their name, and they just use a picture of me. And I'm pretty sure they also post like my latest stuff. But it seems that, thanks for doing it. I have nothing against it, but people seem to understand that it's actually me, and it's not. It's not. I am on Instagram. I do have an account there. I do have a profile, but I barely ever post anything, and that is called a Real Apostate Prophet together. A Real Apostate Prophet. Sometimes people tag me when they upload something and I just approve it. That's all I do. Post things there very, very rarely. I started this whole social media thing with Instagram many years ago, before I started YouTube. That's actually how I started out this whole Apostate Prophet stuff.
You started on Instagram.
Then I got permanently banned. So I got really pissed at Instagram and don't want to return there.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, it sounds like a typical Turk move.
Yeah. You mean the platform that everybody uses in the world? Milk Bar TV interviewed Tree and talked with her about it, and Tree has a full video compilation on her channel where she details how Candace tried to kill her. Really, I gotta check that out.
We've got to check that out, man. We might need to do some shows on this stuff, man.
Maybe she'll join me live or something.
Yeah, you should.
Tree.
Hey, you should message her and that other chick, the other one you just mentioned, the blonde chick.
I don't know her. I don't want to know her.
Yeah, worst case scenario, you say, hey, we're going to do a show with you and Tree. Do you want to join us? Worst case scenario, she says, no, you're a loser.
Okay, I messaged Tree. What's her name? The other one, Nicole
Arbor. Hey, how weird is that? You've got Tree and then Arbor.
I don't know if I want to reach out to her, but I did reach out to Tree. I don't know if I really want to reach out to Nicole Arbor. I'll keep it in mind and look at it. Milk Bar TV. Yes. Anyway.
AP. No, this. Look,
what?
I'm saying we can start the conspiracy. Tree of life and then arbor. Arbor, a structure of trees, shrubs, or vines. Huh?
No.
Huh?
No.
Come on, man. Come on. Do the math here. No, there's not a coincidence. What's really creepy is my name is David Wood, so I'm next. We got to preempt this, man, or I'm gone.
Nicole Arbor used to be okay, but she did some sketchy stuff. I don't know anything about her, but just looking at her profile, it's like I don't want to say anything negative about her. It just seems like a circle that I would not like to very much be associated with. That's what it looks like, and that's the most I can say. Young Koos the Great, you two are awesome. Good night. Thank you. You're awesome too. Now I feel bad that I said it because I have nothing against her. Maybe she's totally cool and all that. So it's just an impression that I have. John West, a Santa at NASA. So take anything that I said about her as me just ignorantly giving you my first thoughts. A Santa at NASA is the same forwards and backwards, proving NORAD is Allah's messenger. A Santa at NASA.
What's funny is as soon as I saw a Santa at NASA, I was like, that looks like the same. Is that the same backwards? A Santa? Yeah, it is. And then I finished reading, and then they were pointing it out. Keep in mind that was Ali Dawa's main evidence that the Quran is from Allah. The Arabic word for orbit is a palindrome. The Arabic word that predated the Quran is a palindrome. And this was a miracle of Islam, according to him.
Based. Immortal Beings, I love the hat AP. Frank Turek is amazing. Frank Turek is awesome.
He's pretty based.
Pretty based. The funny thing is, when I was an atheist, I thought, Frank Turek, no, man. I would probably debate Frank Turek or something at some point. And then I even texted David at some point and asked him if he could ask Frank Turek whether he would debate me. So then I forgot about that. Then later on I became a Christian. And then I connected with Frank Turek because of Charlie Kirk. Because Frank and Charlie were close, and Frank came to me and talked to me about it, and then we started talking and all that. Then he invited me on his show, and we were talking on the show, and then completely unexpectedly, when I didn't expect it at all, Frank just pulls out his phone and is like, I'm reading here a message now from a year so-and-so, which is from David Wood, which says, this guy, a Apostate Prophet, wants to debate you. And I'm like, what? That's pretty embarrassing. Pretty embarrassing. But yeah, Frank is awesome. I love that guy. My new debit card has the mark. Should I return it? Yes. Distracted Game says, what is truly mind-blowing is how accurate Stephen Crowder's impression of Cenk is. I know.
That was hilarious. That was classic when he showed up to Cenk's event as Cenk and then started yelling at him as Cenk, but it's Cenk versus Cenk. Oh man, that was funny.
AP, I think Frank would have destroyed you in that debate. You see, he would have humiliated you. To be frank, I think so too. What is truly in Russia, Baptists are the new Jews. Seems like it. Aussie Abe, Israel got to AP Spotify. Okay, guys, Israel. It seems like Israel. Having your streams uploaded to Spotify was great because it allowed me to download it and I could listen to your streams in snippets wherever I was without using my data. David would do Spotify enunciation. Why did you add the word enunciation at the end of it? Seems very cryptic. Paul, if you want to get Glenn Greenwald, he's involved in WhatsApp politician blackmail. Brazilians are trying to let Americans know about it on X. Nice. We'll check it out. Apparently, John Cleese is going full anti-Islam on
Oh,
X.
I've noticed.
Some of the stuff he's been saying makes him sound like Crusader or Richard Leinert. I just saw Carl Benjamin was talking about it, I think, but I didn't really get to. Let me check that out. Actually, let me see what Carl Benjamin said about him. Carl Benjamin. I just saw a thumbnail. That's all I saw. I didn't. Where was that? Where was it, man? Sargon of Akkad. What's their channel called again? Lotus Eaters. John Cleese. Yeah, Akkad Daily. I see it now. Let me see.
Before we begin what I am expecting to be one of the most entertaining videos I've done in a while, we have a live event on the 11th of April in Swindon. Get your tickets now. I'll leave a link in the description.
Oh, get your tickets now. Get your tickets now. But I really want to check out what happened to you. John Cleese's personal. Is that how you say his name? Cleese?
Yeah, John Cleese, Monty Python, man.
I know, but I don't know how to say his name.
Complaining
Well, never stopped you before.
As the 4chan green text goes, saying, well, you know, we could just lighten up a bit. Maybe we could loosen the rules a bit. Maybe we could make her an infamistically.
Cool.
He's looking at Trump and going, oh, God, no. But what I find really interesting is that, as you can see, this is his timeline. You see what he's reposted here. John Cleese reposted, Rupert Lowe, would you like to see me as the next prime minister? Rupert Lowe's video has done a real number on John Cleese. When he came out and said, look, this is going to be very difficult, it's going to be extremely painful, but it's what must be done to restore Britain, John Cleese was like, this is it. Part of our cultural life. And got a lot to say about this. So I thought we'd just go through a few things. I mean, you can see that he's reposted here. Shabana Mahmood saying British Muslims are an essential part of our cultural life. And he's retweeted Gareth here saying, how can they be essential when they are 6.5% of our population, but are responsible for 97% of terror deaths since 2000, 84% of child gang rapes, 75% of terror threats, 18% of prisoners, 6,000 female genital mutilations a year, 1.5 times birth defect rate, 48.6 of 1664 not employed, and 27% in social housing. So, well, I mean, I guess it's what the Labour Party means by essential, really, isn't it?
This is actually a very significant thing to retweet, man. Like a very.
Oh no, dude, he's been going off way more than that, man. Way more.
Oh.
Like I say, like over and over again, he's blasting away. And I have to say, this wasn't completely new for him. So he's not an atheist. He believes there's something. He'd be like in the agnostic category. He believes there's something out there, or something like that. But I saw him probably like maybe 15 years ago or something like that. He was on a talk show and they just mentioned London. He goes, yeah, well, London's no longer London. And he was talking about how London is just a completely different place if you go there now.
North.
And he was clearly talking. He was clearly thinking of Islam.
Yeah.
He's saying we must grow and take over the whole UK. Well, John Cleese is like, well, is their confidence justified that will take over Britain, or is it just the extreme confidence of the really stupid? And that's one of the more tepid, polite, toned down tweets that he's had about Muslims and Islam recently.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another one. Palestine is ours, not that Spain too. Rome will fall to Islam. We will rule the world. Sadiq, which is his favorite Muslim in Britain. Could this be making infidels anxious, or doesn't that matter? Well, I mean, it doesn't matter, obviously. Sadiq Khan is hardly neutral in the question of Islam, considering he spent his youth as a lawyer defending jihadis of British values. So, no, I don't think he's that bothered about it. Here's Mamdani saying he's getting hateful messages for being a Muslim.
Maybe if the Muslims stopped threatening to kill infidels, that would help. Dude, this guy's going hardcore, man. It's nice to see.
He is. I mean, it's John Cleese from Monty Python, man.
I know. He even I just saw. I'm going through his timeline. I see that he reposted this. Islam.
Dude. I mean, Hey, that is literally it's just a scratch guy. I've got the
Yeah, I
t-shirt.
know.
I've got the t-shirt of the Black Knight, man.
I know.
That's John Cleese.
But I didn't know much about what he does with all this stuff. But he seems to he posted
compatible
No,
with
he started going off, man.
the question is macro Islam compatible with Western values? Macro. Of course it's not. There are three major reasons why. Islam does not believe in freedom of speech. Islam does not believe in freedom of religion. And Islam does not believe in separation of mosque and state. Those three things are antithetical to the West. In a Muslim majority country, most Muslim majority countries, you cannot criticize the Prophet Muhammad. In most Muslim majority countries, you do not have the same robust freedom of religion protections. And finally, whereas we in the West are very careful to try to intermix religion and state, they are commanded to actually go into the state and try to change the state to be more Islamic around the core pillars of Islam. And the last thing I'll finally say is, I cannot see a single Western country that has become more Islamic and has become a better place to live, that is happier or freer.
By what metric? Just happiness, quality?
Everything from quality of life, from culture.
He was great, man. He was great. He was great. He was great.
I think it probably would, yeah.
Maybe if the Muslims stopped threatening to kill infidels, that would help. That's a response to we're being persecuted.
Yeah, I think that would probably help. The next one is Sadiq Khan, who says,
Carl is funny, man. I like the way he delivers things.
the British people love diversity. And John Cleese says, sorry to have to say this, but the British do not like the kind of diversity that intends to take over Britain and kill any infidel that doesn't convert to Islam. Is that hard to understand, silly little man? It's like, well, I mean, I'm open to considering that Sadiq Khan is just a liar for the cause of Islam. I believe they call
This is very good stuff, man. It's very good stuff. Anyway, what I'm watching here is Akkad Daily, Carl Benjamin. He posted this 4 hours ago with his commentary. Very, very nice. Very, very, very nice.
It is. It's seriously interesting because that's you may not, so you know him from Monty Python and stuff, but he was on Faulty Towers, which was ranked like the greatest British show of all time, Faulty Towers, and he was the main guy on that show. I didn't know it. I knew he was in it. But Fish Called Wanda, I watched that, like I had that on, well, someone had it on tape and I watched it like 20 some times. But he wasn't just in it. He actually wrote the entire movie. Kevin Kline got the Oscar for that. It was probably the best comedy of all time. But
every British show is the best show ever.
And I listened to an audio version of Screw Tape Letters where he read the entire thing. He read the entire Screw Tape Letters. And he played Uncle Screw Tape.
I actually just recently started listening to that Screw Tape Letters, which is
the John Cleese version.
I don't know which version.
Find the John Cleese version, man. He crushes it. If you just got someone who, that's the thing. It's just an audio book, but he acts it, man. He sounds like an awesome demon. So anyway, I can guarantee you it's better than whoever you have just reading the book to you.
Narrated by some guy named Ralph. No, it's not him. Oh, that's what I was listening to.
Yeah,
I think I finished
John Cleese version, man.
I finished it. I have to re-listen to it. It's very interesting, man.
It is.
Very nice book. Very nice text. Very nice text. I know that you said for years, Screw Tape Letters is awesome and all that, and that's why I didn't want to read it. But for the first time, I think you were actually right about the recommendation. So, yeah. Few of my family, says Flippy, believes in the Greater Israel Project conspiracy. What's the best way to debunk it? They listen to Chunk Yogurt, by the way. The best way to debunk it would simply be this is the worst thing about conspiracy theories like these is that they often rely on this whole method of make a claim and make it sound totally true, popularize it, make it sound like obviously true, everything points at it, but then those who want to debunk the conspiracy theories have to actually do proper, proper work to show you that the thing that you say exists doesn't actually exist, right? You make a claim that something exists, and the person who comes to debunk the conspiracy theory has to prove to you, no, it doesn't exist. And it's always worse, it's always harder to prove that something doesn't exist than it is to simply make the claim that there is this dumb conspiracy. So, but what you could do is you could start with the data and see how many people in Israel actually believe in expanding Israel through war. You could simply look for whether the Greater Israel Project is actually part of any government program, if it's actually part of any program of any political party that is in any way dominant. It is not. Literally nobody believes in it in Israel. Nobody believes in creating this whole Greater Israel thing from Egypt to, I don't know, to Iran. And the funny thing is, one of the tricky issues about this is that there is a concept called Greater Israel, which is even held by the Likud party, which is in charge. But what they mean by Greater Israel is they are referring to the whole, to the region, to the entirety of the land of Israel that is held together with the Palestinian territories and even part of the Jordan as the original intended Israel. That's what they are referring to, the Greater Israel. And even there, it is some people within the party have suggested we should pursue getting that goal back, and others just don't hold to it, but it only exists as an idea that Israel should be greater than what they got in the end, because originally, the British state promised them a larger state than the one they have right now. That's the worst, the most extreme that people get when they talk about expanding the state or the land of Israel. Literally, not a single person believed in this whole cuckoo idea of expanding Israel from Egypt to Iran or something like that. It doesn't even make any sense. You would have to conquer vast areas that are vastly populated by Arabs, with a Jewish population of like a few million that can never ever populate those regions. I mean, Israel can't even deal with the Arab population that is inside Israel, let alone expanding after this. It's so ridiculous.
AP.
What?
Check the private chat. Check the link.
Let's see. The legendary John Cleese just called Mohammed Hijab a very articulate savage. On 2026 is awesome.
That's it. Click on that. And then it's he says a very articulate savage. He's responding to this guy who said Mohammed Hijab in his all smug pseudo intellectual blah blah blah. That's funny.
All smug pseudo intellectual Polish telling Sneeko that a 13-year-old girl sporting huge hips and huge breasts crosses some magical Islamic threshold into sexual availability. Pedophilia, merely a relative notion. He lectures. Dude.
Anyway, he said he called him an articulate savage.
Let's listen to what he called an articulate savage here.
We would say that, well, if you were to be intimate with a 14-year-old or 13-year-old who's got huge hips and huge breasts and huge body, I mean, quite frankly, we would say it's not going to have the same effect medically. I mean, no one can make the argument. But in these countries where we live in now, one is legal and one is illegal. So, in other words, you can't marry a 100-year-old woman, but you can marry that girl that's you can't be. You're a pedophile if you go for the girl that's got the hips. And once again, pedophilia is very relative.
I think he meant to say pedophilia with relatives, but he said pedophilia is relative. So,
pedophilia with relatives is the best of both worlds.
Yes. Then you can have a little wife, and she's even your cousin. How much more do you want?
So she's already close family. It's not a shock to your family that you bring in someone new. They're like, oh.
You have to marry a little cousin, one of the little ones of your cousins. It's the best. Flippy, a few of my Paul. By the way, Tate did shirk on video. He published a video doing Chinese spell on Ben Shapiro using a Chinese witch and then put it on X. Tate is still around. I haven't heard of Tate in a long time.
That just sounds like a stupid Tate thing to do.
It does.
I got a Chinese witch to cast the spell.
Indeed, it makes
And
no
now,
sense.
Ben Shapiro, I've got a Chinese witch to hex you.
Look at a lack of activity at the demo ranch. Get to work, says Aussie Abe. Exactly, demo ranch. Timothy Freeman, the Feast of Annunciation here today in
Oh,
Australia.
that's why he mentioned Annunciation.
Okay, it was kind of funny that you put it right at the end of it, though. But yes. I see most comments on Turning Point USA are negative. How can we encourage them to show them these bots are not the majority? We're working on it. They're working on it. Things will get better. There is a lot of vile, evil behavior by Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and others who are attacking everything that Charlie valued, attacking the good stuff. The vile behavior is causing so much evil. It's going to get better. It's being worked on. It's going to get better. People will understand. Noel, Baptists don't baptize babies. Show us what you know. Did I say babies?
I was saying it, but in blood, in the blood of Orthodox.
We know that Baptists don't baptize babies.
Yeah, I know. Maybe Noel's joking.
Or did you take a joke too seriously or something? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Noel's joking or took our joke too seriously.
You're taking a joke a little bit too seriously, it seems. Because we also don't think any of those things about Baptists, especially not David. David loves Baptists. And I do too, but not as much as David does. So, my grandpa called me Phil.
Yeah, this person saw it. So John Cleese is in there, and then Michael Palin, who's also in Monty Python, is there, but he has a horrible stutter, and it had great characters. But Kevin Kline, he won the Oscar for playing Otto, who is an ex-CIA dude who's a complete idiot, but he's awesome at everything he does, even though he's a complete idiot. And then Ken, who has a horrible stutter, is coming at him in a steamroller, and he starts cracking up laughing, going, "Hey, it's Ken coming to kill me!" He's cracking up. Anyway, it's Ken coming to kill me. That's classic, man.
Nice. So some people say Noel was joking. If so, I'm very happy. I'm very pleased to hear that. Baptists don't bathe their babies. Candace Owen went deranged and blamed the Zut instead of the Jews. Yeah, blame the Zut if you want to blame it. Hey, thank you so much, Eli. Eli is the best. Eli made a $200 super chat and said, "Love you both." Thank you so much. I really, truly appreciate that. Truly appreciate that. Thank you. And God bless you, bro. Noel, the joke in my last... The joke in my last super chat is that objects to baptizing babies and not the blood stuff. I think some people did get it. Okay, we apologize. It wasn't received very well.
That's actually funny. That's actually funny. Yeah. If I was like,
"And the Baptists, they baptize their babies in the blood of the Orthodox,"
and then the response is, "They don't baptize babies." That's funny.
Okay, now it makes sense. Thank you. Songs of Relief knows that the ministry of Silly Walks himself will hold aloft the holy hand grenade of Antioch and count 3, not 5, etc. in thy mercy. Powerful.
3 shall be the number thou shalt count, and the number of the counting shall be 3.
Cheesy. Chesky Goldberger. JTV Brandon Tatum episode host tells him he spoke with George Farmer. He told him he loves Israel and Jews. Really? Wait, what?
Wait, George Farmer said it, or Brandon Tatum said it?
Brandon Tatum said that George Farmer said it. That's what I'm gathering here. I know that Brandon Tatum is friends with Candace and stuff.
Yeah, he also defends Israel.
Huh. I gotta check that out. I'll see. I'll check that out. I'll have a listen to it. Koreans launching pork at mosques in Korea. Based, said Flippy. Leave the mosques alone. Oh, I wanted to listen to these guys.
Hey. Hey, Koreans, leave those mosques alone.
A few minutes ago, Andrew.
And we will get into that in just seconds. Blake, how you doing?
I was better a few minutes ago, Andrew.
And we will get into that in just a second. So, moments ago, a new report from journalist Michael Schellenberger dropped. As you know, yesterday we covered.
But I actually have this in a higher volume. Because David always complains it's too quiet.
That was
new report from journalist Michael Schellenberger dropped. As you know, yesterday we covered the backstory, but what really happened with the screen grabs, the notorious screen grabs now, and I revealed to this audience that I did in fact share that screen grab with Joe Kent, and Joe suggested that I leak that publicly. I declined. I went back through our messages, and he suggested I do so twice. I declined. Obviously, those were private messages. I wanted to keep them private for Charlie's sake. I thought that was honoring my friend. Anyway, so this new
okay, so for context, what he's talking about here is because he brought that up in the previous episode. There were those messages, that one instance in the group chat of Charlie Kirk where he brought up that one Jewish donor took back their donation in response to them hosting Tucker Carlson and all that, and Charlie got mad about that and said that he's pissed by Jewish donors and all that, and in a moment of frustration said something like, "I'm going to bring back Candace Owens" or something like that. It's one of the biggest pieces of evidence that the anti-Israel people are now using, that Israel killed Charlie Kirk, and it was a moment of frustration by Charlie Kirk. Afterwards, he gathered himself again and continued his work. Donors have the right to take back their donations or to no longer make their donations, and Charlie has every right to be outraged about it. When you are angry, you say things that you don't really want to say, right? Happened. What happened then is, after Charlie was murdered, Andrew Colvett here wanted to pursue any lead. This actually says a lot about how much Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk Show, and Andrew himself cared about getting involved in finding leads as much as possible. That's what this actually shows. Andrew shared that screen grab with Joe Kent just to pursue any possible lead of who may have killed Charlie Kirk. So he thought this was one moment where Charlie was very upset about something. He shared that with Joe Kent. He shared it with Joe Kent because Joe Kent is head of the National Counterterrorism Center, right? And Joe was like, "Yeah, you can share this with me. You can trust me. You can trust me. You can share it with me."
Yes, I would never betray your trust and send this out.
What Joe Kent then did with that message is, after saying, "You can trust me, I will not share it with anybody," is he leaked it to be published by the media. That's the kind of person that Joe Kent is. He took the message. He said, "Hey, don't worry, man. You can share it with me. You can trust me. I will not publish it. I will not share it with anyone." So Andrew is like, "Okay, man, I'm sharing it with you just to pursue leads." Joe Kent takes it and immediately leaks it to the media. That's the kind of person that Joe Kent is. Which is why he was also known as a leaker and was lengthily under investigation by the FBI for doing leaks on multiple occasions. That's what we're talking about here. It turned out that the screenshot is a big nothing, simply a moment of Charlie's frustration. That's it.
Report comes out from Schellenberger, and it says, as you see on your screen, that Joe Kent says he's willing to testify at the trial of Tyler Robinson. So this is obviously a huge bombshell and escalates everything to a much bigger level. I have reached out to Michael Schellenberger, and he has agreed to come on the show today. He interviewed Joe Kent for this report. So these are Joe Kent's own words. Michael Schellenberger will be joining us at 1:30 Eastern. So set your clocks and please tune in then. It's going to be.
Don't set your clocks now. It's already too late.
Be an important conversation. And Blake, let's just take this out a step and explain why this is actually a really important thing. As you know, there's a lot of conspiracy theories that we do not indulge, that we do not discuss. This is different. Joe Kent was a government official at a very important post, and now he's saying he's willing to testify ostensibly on behalf of Tyler Robinson.
Yeah.
This is a bigger deal. This is a line cross that we have not seen.
Yes, let's just recite it, where he says, Kent, this is Schellenberger's reporting on Substack. Kent said he knew he might be called as a witness before he made his statements that a, quote, foreign nexus may have been involved in Kirk's assassination. I was definitely warned of that over and over again, said Kent. If I end up having to play that role, then I'll do it. It's not something I'm seeking. When pressed that his testimony could help the Robinson defense, Kent said, then honestly, so be it. If it gets us to the truth, that's obviously the risk I'm taking. Neither Robinson's attorneys nor the prosecuting attorneys responded to a request for comment. And then I'm not sure if there's more. I might have to pay for Schellenberger's subscription.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I'm sure it does go further. And we're gonna, like I said, be talking to Michael Schellenberger.
Dude, what the
Look at that,
Jai,
1.2 million, man. Muslims are flipping out every time I go in there. I see them trying to respond to it, and they're all like completely clueless. They're all going, "No, it's just pronunciation differences," and they have no clue, man.
And
I'm gonna do a short live with Jai tomorrow at like 5 or something like that, where we're gonna check out the meme. We're gonna go through some of the responses and actually show Muslims what is actually going on.
3 gods, but 1 Quran, still 1.
Hafs and Warsh.
1.
Jai just made that and posted it. It's probably 19-20 hours or something like that. He's at 1.2 million, but they are flipping out. The Muslim cowboy flipped out. Everyone flipped out, man.
I know. He texted me, and I'm sure he texted you too when he made it. He said this could be better, but still here it is, and then he posted it.
Could not be better, man. The only improvement is, see the still 1 there. See the still 1. If he just centered it between the warsh and the line, that would be it. That's the only improvement I see.
No, I think it's good this way.
Quran. Still 1. They are losing it, man.
Another BS attempt to find an excuse to feel better about going to hell. 1 Quran.
Those are different types of reciting methods, guys. There are flat out contradictions in the different Qurans. Contradictions. It's not a different way to recite. Unless you say, well, we recite it and then we say the opposite, and that's also an equally valid recitation. I'll give you an example, guys. It's Surah 11, verse 81. Some versions of the Quran say that it's the story of Sodom, but some versions say that Lot's entire family went out except his wife. So they all went out except his wife. So his wife stayed behind. And then other versions say, and they all went out and no one looked back except his wife. So she went out, but then she's the one who looked back. And so guess what? She either went out or she didn't go out. That's a contradiction. Some versions, she didn't go out, she stayed behind. In other versions, she went out, but then she looked back. That's a contradiction.
Hey, look at this. I even asked, the AI has learned it by now. Are Hafs, Qalun, and Warsh simply different recitation methods of the same exact Quran text? Hafs, Warsh, and Qalun are not simply different accentual ways of reciting the exact same text. While they are all considered authentic modes of recitation, Qira'at, within Islamic tradition and originate from the same Uthmanic skeleton, they have thousands of minor differences in vowels, dots, and at times entire words, which can lead to differences in meaning, grammatical structure, and even verse numbering. And it goes further to explain it. This is very, very funny. So, this is very, very funny, man.
Mm-hmm.
List of pagan celebrations in Christianity.
Oh gosh,
Saturnalia, Sol Invictus.
Yeah, here's where you need inspiring philosophy on to just completely wreck this nonsense.
Oh gosh, look at Saturnalia, Sol Invictus, Christmas.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and look, he's got Easter and Easter there. Yeah,
Easter, Halloween, All Saints Day. Dude, you don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
No, he doesn't. That's the sort of thing like IP would just wreck.
Terrible, terrible attempts at trying to defend Islam and pointing at Christianity.
It's getting sad.
Sad, very sad. Very sad.
We're in the second half of next hour at 1:30 Eastern, and I can't wait to hear what he has to say. This to me is galaxy brain run amok, and let me explain why I say that. Jonathan Turley, who is I guess he's a contributor to Fox News, legal contributor. He's a professor of law at George Washington University, said that 90% of the evidence accumulated against Tyler Robinson could be thrown out. So the defense could be successful in throwing out 90% of the evidence, and he would still be found guilty of murder.
Let's refresh people. There is a murder weapon that was found near the site of the shooting.
I just want to point out to everybody, there's this online popularizing of insane and ridiculous and unreliable people like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and the others and all that, while currently attacking these guys here, Andrew and Blake. If anybody values Charlie at all, the one people that you should be respecting and listening to here are not Candace Owens or these other people. It's these two guys. If you watched Charlie Kirk's show before he was killed, Charlie Kirk was with these guys all the time on his show. He spends time with these guys all the time. They are very good friends of Charlie. They are good friends of his family. Andrew Colvett to the right is his main producer. He was around Charlie all the time, spending his day and his night running around, organizing and doing things for Charlie all the time. He was literally doing nothing else. He was spending his 24 hours every day running around and getting things done for Charlie and for Turning Point USA. He was helping his family. He was very close to his family. When Candace Owens was laughing about Charlie Kirk and was pointing out how controlled and brainwashed Charlie Kirk is, these guys were together with Charlie the entire time. They were his guys. And now people actually want to throw these two guys away and listen to an online click prostitute like Candace Owens about what Charlie Kirk is. Didn't want to say it, but I did.
It was owned by Tyler Robinson's family.
Given to him by his grandpa.
Of the caliber used to shoot Charlie. It has his DNA all over it.
All over the casings.
They release a photo of the shooter. They are not able to find him otherwise. Tyler Robinson's...
Here's, by the way, the wife was involved with Epstein and rented out children. The first thing that I'm going to do is ban you for being an absolutely disgusting scumbag and posting a lie like that. The second thing that I'm going to do is to tell you that you're an absolute scumbag, and that you are a filthy liar, and that you post garbage like this, which you hear from insane people online, like Candace Owens and others. And you're also so retarded that you actually rely on on evidence that you find from some anonymous online memes and posts, from some viral posts that are gone without fact checking, that you trust people like Candace Owens and others. This is completely made up, filthy garbage. And I sometimes wish that whoever you are, if you are well known or not, if you made an allegation as serious as this, I wish you immediately had legal consequences for that. I wish you went to prison for this. What the hell is wrong with you, man?
Parents see that photo and think, that looks like Tyler. They begin asking him things like, where is your, I believe it was his grandfather's gun. They start asking him this. Tyler Robinson starts talking like he might kill himself. They get a friend of the family to sit down with him. He admits that it's him. They get him to drive up to Orem and turn himself in. His parents helped him turn him in. And we run into people who say that that didn't happen or that's fabricated.
There's digital confessions.
There's digital confessions, but also his parents are out there. They have never stepped forward and said this is a lie. They could easily do that. It would be trivial to do that if it was the case. They have not done that. His parents turned him in. That is the most obvious piece of evidence in the world that nothing can argue around. And some people are so obsessed with these same conspiracies that they concoct for every other thing that ever happens. And so they have to shove it into this one too, because they care more about their conspiracy theories than about the person who murdered my friend facing justice. I am fed up with it.
Yeah, and you should be.
All of this is literally true, and it's all on record and did happen. And anybody else who spreads anything else is simply obstructing justice and trying to defend the murderer who actually killed Charlie Kirk, and is therefore disgusting. That's all that needs to be said. Anyway, I'm going to do this sometime on a different live stream, but I wanted to remind everybody that yesterday we actually went live and promoted a new campaign that you can subscribe to, which you can find on the logos.com/AP. Logos.com/AP. The link is the most amazing link I've heard of in my entire life. Logos. I have to post it with the hyperlink. Wait a minute. HTTPS here, logos.com/AP. If you go on logos.com/AP, you can subscribe to Logos, the Bible study app, the most famous, most popular Bible study app in the world. You can subscribe to it right now until March 31st. If you subscribe to it, you will get 60 days for free. 60 days for free. You will have access to the library of over 200 books on Logos, of all kinds of different Bible study methods and analysis and all that. After 60 days, you can subscribe for a plan of $10 or $9.99 a month, $14.99 a month, or $19.99 a month. Together with that, there's also a specific bundle that is being offered, which is the Apostate Prophet Study Bundle. I can't believe that Logos.com actually has Apostate Prophet Study Bundle on their own website, which is pretty funny, even with my logo up there. Isn't that based? This is on Logos.com, man. Where I put a bundle of books together that I handpicked together with the Logos team. Aside from subscribing to Logos for free for 60 days and starting your trial, you can also go and buy yourself a collection of 280 books that I myself, with the Logos team, picked out, which in total costs $4,700, or actually $5,100, but you can buy it for $424, or you can subscribe to that study bundle and for only $37 per month for 13 months. And after those 13 months, the books are all yours. They will all belong to you. 280 books will all belong to you and will be in your online library permanently. No matter what you subscribe to, you will also get a free course, which normally costs $430, which is called Western Civilization, Greeks to Aquinas. And the books that I picked out are very, very special. You have, of course, some of the some of the Bible translations offered. You have biblical commentaries, 89 of them. You have dictionaries and encyclopedias, theology dictionaries, Old Testament studies, New Testament studies, biblical studies. You have certain texts about what it means to be a Christian, how to properly understand Christianity, how to properly understand Christian theology and Jesus, different courses on apologetics, but also very, very specific texts that I personally really love. I included a lot of books from the early church fathers, books from the pre-Nicene and post-Nicene scholars and fathers, exploring certain themes that I think people don't talk about enough, which I personally love a lot, like the incarnation, Jesus as God becoming flesh, church history. There are also a lot of books that involve exploring Judaism and Christianity's ties with Judaism and Jewish history and culture and roots. There's a lot of stuff on Islam. So you don't just get studies about Christianity in the Bible. There are also texts included that directly criticize and critique and deeply analyze Islam. There are even Robert Spencer texts involved here. You have Islam in the Bible, questioning Muslim idiom translations, a short guide to the Islamic faith, Islam as Prophet, People, Politics, and Power, Islamic Studies collection. You have books involved that are about loving your Muslim neighbor, but also analyzing what Islam actually is, and multiple other things. Books that unite different Christian perspectives, the Protestant, Orthodox, Catholic perspectives. I have some Orthodox things here. I included one of my favorite books ever, which is The Orthodox Way by Callistos Ware, and multiple other books. So you can buy this. You can subscribe to it and pay $37 a month, and then you own all of these 280 books after 13 months, or you can buy it all at once for $474.99, or you can simply subscribe to Logos, the app, and already have access to over 200 standard books for free for 60 days. If you don't do anything else, sign up for a 60-day trial of Logos and check it out for yourself and use it for free. David can tell you all about how fantastic Logos is, because it is fantastic, and I myself use it. You can find all of this under logos.com/AP. 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 Subscribe now. What's up, David?
I was just looking to see if you had the slight bit of common sense to include the link in the description.
I didn't think about it before.
That's pretty dumb then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shouldn't that be normal? Shouldn't that be like support AP and then get Logos?
Get Logos.
Wouldn't that be obvious? Wouldn't that be
free.
obvious to any man with any degree of common sense?
I'm not a man, I'm a prophet. Okay, I included it right now in the description. So,
DJ Ty Singer says, David has been using Logos longer than AP has been alive. Yeah, I think I got it in like 2007 or something like that.
So you can confirm that Logos is based?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely based. So if you want to be as based as David, go on logos.com/AP and subscribe to it for 60 days for free. And by doing so, you're also supporting the channel. You're supporting the channel. So if you want to support the channel and also get something amazing in return, do that. Do that. Do it. And have Logos. Ashmay, studying John Clemarchus with our priest, John Cleese, narrating Screw Tape came up, made a joke about John Cleese not being John Clemarchus, priest laughed. That's funny.
Along those lines, I just checked, and that's old. So he says, studying John with our priest. John Cleese narrating Screw Tape came up. I just went ahead and checked it because I was like, how would people even find that now when it was like decades ago? But it is on YouTube, guys.
It is?
The whole thing. It's 3 hours and some change. The whole thing.
Oh, yeah. According to what David just said, that he started using logos since before I was born, but he only started using it in 2007. That means I was born after 2007.
Yeah.
I'm pretty young, man.
You're like 4 years old, man.
Looks like got really rough in such a short time. House of Hekma. I just paid for a 5-minute argument.
No, you didn't.
Cool. Flip says,
Do you even know what that was, AP?
No, what was it?
It's a Monty Python skit. You go into this place and you pay for an argument. He says, I paid for an argument. He goes, no, you didn't. No, wait, and he goes, this is the place for an argument. He goes, I've told you once. And he goes, no, you didn't. He goes, yes, I did. And the guy starts complaining. He's like, we're not arguing. You're just contradicting everything I say. No, I'm not.
I think I watched a few I tried a few Monty Python things, and
no, I saw Monty Python and the Holy Grail when I was a kid, and then,
I tried
when I found out they did other stuff, I would always
so I tried the Holy Grail once. I tried different Monty Python things. I think I saw clips. It kind of like the translation of the humor was always a little bit lost on me, I have to say.
Yeah, some of the stuff doesn't work, man, but some of the stuff translates well. The Men from Yorkshire clip.
Well,
I mean,
I watched Life of Brian, and I thought it was overall funny, but some parts didn't translate to me as well either. But I thought it was generally funny. As an atheist, I thought
I've never even seen that. I've only seen some clips, but no, some of these skits on their show are some of the greatest skits of all time.
Noise. But you have to really understand like English humor. If you don't speak good English, you might not find it funny at all. Or if you don't understand English humor, you might not find it funny at all. Flip, AP and David Wood, can you do a boom boom room with Freud interviewing Candace?
That would not be the boom boom room, would it?
Exorcism.
That would be a skit.
That would be a
boom boom room is Muhammad interviewing. You've got Freud interviewing Candace.
It's called a doom room and do Candace.
Yeah. And AP could definitely play Freud because he crushed it last time, but there's only one woman who could actually play Candace Owens.
John McCrae.
No.
Oh, who?
The rapper chick, you know. Azalea Banks, man. Spot on.
Why? Because she's black?
She looks like Candace Owens.
Dude, she literally looks nothing like Candace
Owens.
She
looks exactly like Candace Owens. If you put her on the screen, people would think that's Candace Owens.
She literally looks nothing like Candace Owens.
She looks like Candace Owens, man.
You're saying all black people look the same, man.
I'm saying Azalea Banks looks like Candace Owens.
You're saying this woman here looks like Candace Owens. She literally looks nothing like her.
She looks like Candace Owens, man. If she did her hair and makeup the same as Candace, she would rock the part of Candace Owens.
If there's one person who looks nothing like Candace Owens, it's definitely her. She looks nothing like Candace
different hair, different makeup, dead ringer for Candace Owens.
Except that she's black.
Look, Anastasia says she looks like Candace. Yeah. See, look, she do though. Yes, she does look like Candace. Steve says, I can see it. She do. See?
Bunch of racists here, man. So many racists here. Now let's put Candace Owens on screen. Here.
No. You got to get a picture where they have like similar makeup on and stuff, man. That doesn't look like that. Candace doesn't look like Candace there.
How do they look similar? Candace Owens looks like Michael Jackson.
Get Candace with more makeup on and Azalea Banks with less makeup on.
Fine, I'll find one with more makeup. Since you want to insist. Here's Candace Owens with more makeup on.
Mm-hmm.
They look nothing alike.
Now get Azalea Banks with less makeup on.
Right. Man.
And look, have Grok put the same haircut and the same makeup on both of them and tell me she couldn't rock the part.
And make Grok change their faces and make them look similar. Yeah. That was wild. David is like, all black women look exactly the same. RCA Moore was also known as a leaker. He was a leaker. All right, David.
What?
I was going to bring up Brianna, but she's not black enough. Okay, anyway, forget about it. Movie remakes are just different recitations of the OG. Yes, exactly.
No, different rectation.
No, recitations.
It says
Mike
rectation.
Rochwinger. Whenever the Candace cult says, why does Erica Kirk do? I usually respond, well, if you guys didn't kill Charlie, it triggers him so hard. Go for him, mate says, love you, praying regularly for you all. Thank you. I appreciate that. Metalmorphosis, why is the Book of Nicaea not on the list? We couldn't find that. It was removed by the Bible people.
Yeah, you can't even find it anymore. They destroyed it. They burned them all.
Yeah. Mike Winger uses logos. AP uses logos. Coincidence? Yeah. I only use logos because Mike Winger uses logos.
No, that's actually a dork Mike Winger thinking he can be smart and try to learn the stuff we know to try and deceive more people.
Nice. AP, will you ever interview Rupert Lure? I would be honored to.
I wouldn't ever interview anyone named Rupert.
You know what? Maybe I can actually arrange that.
You say, hey, David, you need to have an interview with this guy. What's the name? Rupert. Ah, that's it. No one named Rupert.
You know what? Maybe I could even arrange something like that. Flip. Adding to the episode, Silly J and Winger come to help the exorcism, but once Winger enters the room, he explodes like normal. Prager was on Jeremy Boring's new podcast. He called Candace a charismatic non-truth teller and says is in shock her actions don't bother many people. I know it says a lot about society, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How is Dennis Prager doing? I wonder how he's.
You could probably look up the interview, and that would tell you.
Yeah. We'll check it out. It was at 37, the Brandon Tatum George Farmer thing. I shall check it out. -897. I heard the Zut verse is actually Sahih in Arabic, but they incorrectly translated it to Da'if. The Zut did, yeah. Mike Rochwinger, David probably thinks Fentanyl Floyd looks like Obama. No, he thinks he looks like.
Now you're talking like Candace. Talking trash about Floyd.
Yeah. Sega Boy, actually Candace looks like 80s singer Jermaine Stewart. No, she looks exactly like Mike
Winger?
Michael Jackson.
No.
No, I just got confused. Michael Jackson. She looks like Michael Jackson. She looks as sometimes I look at Michael Jackson and I think it's Candace Owens. Sometimes I look at Candace Owens and I think it's Michael Jackson. So, and he's suspicious he died just before Candace Owens became famous. So, just saying. And he had a lot of connections to Israel, as people like to say. Just saying. Or David, anything else? Anything else, David? Nothing? All right. Everybody, right now, go on logos.com/AP and subscribe to Logos for 60 days for free. I'll see you there. I am not available tomorrow. I can't do live stream with you. Sorry, David.
I
would,
didn't want you
I know
to.
I know
I'm-
I know I know it
I
upsets
go
you,
live
I know
with
it makes
I go
you
live with
sad.
Hatun Wednesday evenings, and before that, I'm going live with Jai. No one wanted you involved in any of that.
This is just your way of trying to say that you're very upset that I can't go live with you tomorrow. But I can't go live tomorrow with you. I'm sorry about that because I'm traveling tomorrow through Friday doing important stuff. So I will see y'all very, very soon. Until then, thanks everybody for watching. As always, have a fantastic day. God bless y'all, and God bless America.
Stay away from Islam.
Why are you laughing?